I need to take my hangy off. Guys and dolls, Freedom Dad here. Just finishing my soup. This is the business end. I'm going to get a wee interview with Kendall today, so I am, guys. Just let me get my Kendall didn't know anything about that, so he doesn't I. The gimbal sorted out. Right. It is fucking freezing, guys. Give me 2 seconds. Oh, dearie me. In already. Thank you so much, guys. Oh shit! They put the music on. They don't realise it gets monetized, guys, and you end up with adverts. Let me just get this in. Okay. So, Freedom Dad here, guys, at the chimney corner, and yeah, not great numbers as always, but listen, we will grow. It is fucking freezing. Excuse me, I've got 2 jackets on, and yeah, it is what it is. So, just turn you around. There's our friends. We don't have the big camera here, which is good. That's a wee change, and I'll take you around, let you see the flags. Well, I'm not going to get too close to the actual speaker. So throw the thumbs up there, guys, and yeah, give us a wee like, as you do. Okay, and I'm going to look at your comments today as well. So I am. So I need to keep talking. They said it's say the thing. Let's have a wee look at in the back here. So this is the business end. This is what happens when you come down to the chimney corner. All right, Kendall, how you doing? You busy? You busy? Let me just turn this around. Yeah, I think it's going to get us monetized. Onion, yeah. So yeah, I'm here with Kendall. Let me just turn it around. How you doing, man?
I'm doing dead on. Hard at it at the chimney, feeding all the folk.
So how much work is involved in this? And don't be modest, mate. Be honest. So when do you start preparing this food?
Yesterday.
Yesterday.
Sure, yesterday. Prepping off chicken, flashing off bacon, getting veg snap prep, steeping barley, usual nonsense. So from yesterday.
Yeah, so what drives you?
What drives
you to do this for the Patriots?
They hope to awaken people to what's going on in our country, and that we can't have this illegal invasion going on. It's a takeover. People need to start looking at the towns and cities in England that are no longer English and will never be English.
Never again. They'll never. That's it. That's what people don't realise.
But the problem is, it's all right us here shouting about Northern Ireland. If nothing happens in the Republic of Ireland or the mainland, Northern Ireland will still not be safe. So we have to, as a United Kingdom and Republic of Ireland, combat this all together, or we're not going to get through it.
Yep. And listen, I just want to say on behalf of all the Patriots, the amount of work you've done, because you haven't just been the chimney corner, you've been the other demos.
Oh, go around the mall, give them all a bit of support. wee bit of soup here and there, but we're doubling down on the chimney corner here. The Marine Court and Bangor is shutting before long, and what we're led to believe is they're going to be getting moved to the chimney corner. So, chimney corner every week, 2:30. God spares us, that's where we'll be.
Thank you so much, mate. I'll just turn this around here. So yeah, guys, bacon rolls, and I've got Kendall's missus here, but she doesn't like being speaking on camera. Very modest, so she is. But yeah, absolutely brilliant.
Kelly's the engine room.
Say it again, mate.
R. Kelly's the engine room.
The driving force. But yeah, there you go, guys. This is what you get. So that's the soup.
Oh, there's the soup.
Absolutely amazing, and absolutely amazing chicken and vegetable soup, guys. Yeah, and I know it's difficult for people to get here, so we are going to sort that out. I've spoken to Stevie Baker, and he's going to arrange buses to come from the city centre to bring people to the chimney corner, because we've always been the ones that say going about the left and how they work and how they get people and pay people to go to their demos. We're not going to pay people to go to their demos, but I think we should be making it a bit easier. So yeah, I'm just going to show you the signs for anybody who hasn't seen them. So like I say, guys, we understand how difficult it is for people, you know what I mean? Coming to these demos, especially when it's so cold. Like I am absolutely freezing. Patriotic Media went and got me gloves because my fingers are absolutely freezing. So I understand. I totally get it. I know people have other things. It's a Saturday. People are working all week and they value their Saturdays. I get that. So this is the whole point of me doing the lives, you know what I mean, as well. I wasn't going to do a live today, but I did leave it a wee bit later so I could get a chat with people. But we are here from 1 o'clock, half 1:15, setting up. So if you ever want to come and talk to Freedom Dad, I'll always be here early for that reason, because it is difficult running lives and trying to speak to people that want to speak to me, get a chat about stuff, you know what I mean. So I'm always available, always available, always answer a message. I reply to as many comments as possible, and that's what it's about. Because we've learned a lot from the Patriot movement in England. But yeah, nobody holds anything against anybody for not coming here. We do understand it is going to get more busy in the summer, and we've also got men and women who are on bail conditions. You know what I mean? That can't come to these demos, and we understand that as well. And that's another reason why I do the lives. So yeah, that's an update as well on what's been happening with myself. Let me just turn it around. So yeah, guys, when I arrived at the chimney corner over an hour ago, the police did approach me and they have cautioned me, and I have to make my way to Musgrave Police Station to be interviewed for the same thing that everybody else is getting interviewed for, which is obviously the pink ladies, the alleged knuckle dusters that they are saying that were in the bags that I brought out on a live, So finally, they have got round to me, and I have recorded the interaction. Obviously, they wanted to speak to me in private, and Freedom Dad does not talk to the police in private ever. So one of my friends recorded the interaction, and I will be putting that up on Facebook and YouTube later on. But yeah, it is what it is, guys. You know what I mean? It's a goodie bag, that was handed out. It was a key ring, and they're saying it's a knuckle duster. It's at the end of the day, it's down to the court to decide. You know what I mean? And I have spoke to the other boys and everybody involved in this, and everybody else has been questioned. So I know it's coming. Obviously, it's going to be a no comment interview, as they know, with Freedom Dad or Mark. There's never been a time that I've ever been arrested by the police where I've ever spoke to them. So I'm not going to change that now and start interacting with them, or even it's just usual, no comment, as everybody knows. So I'm surprised they're even bothering with me, because they know what way the interview's going to go. But suppose yes, it's my turn. So they also wanted my address, which I declined to give them, which they weren't happy about, and they said, that I could be arrested and all that. It doesn't make any sense, you know what I mean? But they want to know where Freedom Dad's staying. But they know. You know what I mean? They're not stupid. You know what I mean? We don't underestimate the security services or the intelligence services in Northern Ireland because they've been doing this for a very long time. So yeah, I will keep us updated when I go into Musgrave and meet with the detectives and get this interview. And I will be using the same solicitor as the people are using right now, and that's what we want to do. We want to make sure everybody's using the same solicitor and everybody's on the same page. It just keeps everything right, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's not Freedom Dad's first rodeo. It is a bit ridiculous. Everybody is tongue in cheek with it, and yeah, I did make a mistake by bringing it out of my life. Obviously, I didn't have no clue what was in that bag, and yeah, Alison Morris, she did bring it out as a crime journalist, and somebody who's portraying. I'm not taking it right here, like me, but somebody who's pretending to protect women and all the rest of it. At the end of the day, we live in a very dangerous time. A very dangerous man coming into our country, and I'm going to say it right now. You women out there need to do whatever you need to do to protect yourselves in the streets of Northern Ireland, because what's happening in England and Scotland and Wales is coming here. As you can see with this hotel, we've got over 50 or 70 men. This is a process centre. This is what people got to understand. This hotel, right, behind me, isn't just got 50, 70 men in it that have been there for the last 2 years or whatever. This is a process centre where these men are coming in this country, getting put in this hotel, living a life of luxury, getting taxis to and from the doctors, getting taxis to and from everywhere they go, getting envelopes for money. I'm going to be bringing an interview during the week of somebody that will tell you exactly what's going on with this hotel. And yeah, it's a process centre. These guys are ending up on the streets of Northern Ireland, on the streets of Belfast, in social housing, in our streets. These men have came into our country illegally, right? Are coming and they're coming straight into our societies. No, nobody knows who they are. They're making up the names as they come. They're making up their date of births, and as you can see with the videos that I've been bringing, they're not too keen on showing their faces, but we will show their faces. We will highlight who these people are. We will not ever back down and be afraid to be called far right or racist or anything like that, because it's wrong on so many levels. We have to, as you can see, we're all being pulled in and questioned, and Stevie Baker and Robin's been charged, for something so ridiculous. But yet these men are breaking into our country, totally ignoring the immigration laws and the laws that we have to protect our shores from invaders. Totally ignoring them. And not only are they not being charged or put in prison or being kicked straight back out of the country, they're being put in luxury hotels all around the nation, in Great Britain and in Ireland. And, if you had a spoke about this 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, people would have laughed at you. People would have thought, you're nuts. Somebody coming in, people, invaders coming into the country in boats and fighting AIDS men from Iraq, Syria, Afghanistan, Sudan, Eritrea, no women, no children, and our government are putting them in hotels. You're nuts. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's happening. It's happening right now. And this is what I said in my video the other day. I don't think people realise that we're part of something in the hundreds and hundreds of years of our countries. We're now part of something that's so unique, so threatening, and so dangerous, and so damning for not just today, but tomorrow and the future of our children and our grandchildren. And this is what drives me and drives the men and women that are here and drives the men and women that support me online, the people that watch my channels. It's the fact that we know when we're not here, that's when it's going to get worse. So we're going to do everything that we can to make sure we fix it before we die. And if it means dying, if it means going to prison, it doesn't make a difference, because every time one of us do go to jail, another five will step up, and people will recognise that we're not far right, we're not racist, we're not giving misinformation out. This is a serious serious threat to not just the current situation of the safety of people in Northern Ireland, but it's a serious threat to the future of our children, our traditions, and our cultures, and most importantly, Christianity. Whether you're a Christian or not, what would you rather have, Islam or Christianity? That's what you got to ask yourself, because that's what it's going to be like in 30, 40 years' time. We now have the facts and figures that we know that they cannot hide it, that the English people will be a minority within 25 to 30 years. And then after that, like I say, it's an accumulator. It's just going to skyrocket. And before our children and our grandchildren and maybe our great grandchildren will be able to even think about doing anything about it, it's going to be way too late. So we're at the minute laying down the foundations to protect the future of our lands. We're laying down the foundations to protect what we know growing up as children in the United Kingdom. And the Irish are doing it the same in Ireland, and that's what it's about. It's looking at what the government have done to their country in England, looking at what they've done to the English people and the English cities, looking at what they've done to the churches, and deciding right here, right now, it's not happening in this country. And we are up against the most pressure from the police, the newspapers, the left, and the do-gooders, the people that just can't see. They don't want to hear the truth. You got a lot of people. I got a lot of people that give me flack online, and they don't have children. This is a common denominator. They don't have children. They're not invested. They own cats, not kids. So they come on and they give freedom of thought a hard time, and they say that immigration's good, diversity's good, because they're not invested in the country. And you've got to watch out for that. These people are quite happy to destroy our country because they've never got anything out of our country. They've come into this life and they're leaving. They've come into this life alone and they're leaving this life alone. They don't have any family, don't have any children, and they don't have any grandchildren. And maybe they're just a wee bit hateful because of it, or for whatever reason. And this is what it's about. This is how simple you can look at things. People who have children do not want to leave a land where their children are going to be in danger. People that don't have children don't give a damn. That's where we're at today. And there's a lot more politicians. We're coming after you. The church, we're coming at no more. Nobody else can sit and say, "Oh, we don't know what's going on," or "No, I don't." There's nobody can argue with Freedom Dad. Nobody can argue with the Patriots. Nobody can argue with anybody. Lindsay, again, Patriotic Media, Truth Podcast, the EBFD. Nobody can argue with us no more because we've got the facts. We've got the receipts. We are bringing the truth. Britain is being replaced. Islam is coming in and they're taking over. They're taking over our churches. There's Sharia courts up and down, 50 to 70 Sharia courts, Sharia law. Our animals are being slaughtered in the most horrific ways. And where are the animal rights activists? This is happening. This is happening right now. And like I keep on saying, it's no happening here. We will go to prison before we will allow that happen here. And the Patriots in Northern Ireland have come together and are never going to be divided. We're never going to fall out, and we're going to stick together, fight together, and we're going to look after each other. If one man goes to jail, every other man's going to look after him, his family, his children, his friends, and that's what it's going to be. It's going to be like back in the old days with the paramilitaries. We're not paramilitaries, we're patriots, and we're a movement where both Protestants and Catholics can come and be part of it. We're a movement where we're not here against each other for once. We're not fighting the Irish in Republic. We're not fighting Catholics in Ardoyne, Ballymurphy, Armagh, the Bogside. We're patriots who are fighting something that's going to affect all of us. And that's it. Whether they like it or not, it's going to affect every single one of our children. It's going to affect our murals, our traditions, our cultures, our bands, our bonfires, a lot. Doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter what you are, Protestant or Catholic, you're going to catch up. No matter how hardcore you are, how bitter, how much you hate each other, you're going to catch up eventually. We as unionists are watching the union be destroyed. The Catholics as Republicans are watching the Republic of Ireland being destroyed. Slowly but surely, every week, every day, every month, there's more and more people waking up to the truth of what's truly going on. No more are we going to be gaslit by the newspapers. No more can our politicians sit silent and pretend they're deaf and dumb and they haven't got a clue what's going on. If the politicians do not start speaking the language of the patriots who are trying to protect the country that they're meant to be doing as well by being politicians, then they will be replaced. The people will replace. We are in a time of populist vote. The time of the educated schoolboys and the millionaires and all that who has ruled us and failed us for so many years, their time is up. Their time is up. Today, the people of Northern Ireland will vote for who they want. Any man that steps up or any woman that steps up and wants to fight the cause against the invasion of these fighting AIDS men or the invasion of Islam coming into a Christian country when there's 55 Muslim countries all around the world that they could go to under the pressures and extreme pressures that we're under. We're paying the most, second most in the world for gas and electricity. Our NHS is struggling. Our people are struggling to get a dentist. Our housing is in decline. We're not building enough housing, and our births are declining compared to our deaths. That are there's more people. Basically, there's more people dying than we are having children. So that's not good for society. Full stop. Without anybody coming in, without us being invaded, that's not good. Full stop. So when you have that happening, and then you have an influx of foreigners and Islam who are having lots of children, in some cases to more than one wife, that's a big problem. And nobody can get away from it. Nobody can hide it. It's here, and it's going to get worse and worse. And see you politicians that are sitting there on your hands, pretending everything's all right, and just looking at us patriots like we're far right and racist. Eventually, the people are going to look back, and they're going to see what you have done, and you're not going to hide from nobody. Because please believe me, we are not going to stop. We're going to keep calling you out. We're going to go to where you are. We have been very, very light with you so far, but that's going to change because we're getting angrier and angrier and angrier. You call yourselves unionists, but yet you say nothing about what's going on in the union. You know, go to Luton, go to Leicester, go to Birmingham, go to Rochdale, go to London. Go and see how it's faring over there and ask yourself, is that what you want in your country? You became a politician to protect everything that you believe is right. This is right. We are right. Okay? We are right. We are on the right side of politics. We're on the right side of history. Simple as that. You either get on board or you're going to get left behind. We will replace those men and women who are not representing the people of Northern Ireland. That's not even me. That's what everybody's saying. Eventually, everybody's going to be in the same page. Because the only people that's going to be held accountable is the politicians. You are in power. You have got the choice right now. You either fight for the people or you fight for your bank account. Because we understand exactly what's going on now. We understand the leverage the establishment in England have had on Ulster. Right, going through to the Good Friday Agreement, to our Union flag coming off, a lot of money flying about a lot of places to keep a lot of people quiet. And the thing is now, everybody knows it's the talk of the street. The dogs in the street are talking about it, and it's getting a bit embarrassing. So it's time to rise up, because there's going to be more people behind me coming. Louder voices, bigger voices. I'm just an orphan from South Belfast. You should be ashamed of yourself that you're getting called out by somebody like me. That's how we look around. This is my favourite, as you know. I'll be coming back to see you, Mr. McLaughlin. You're not going to hide, like. You're not going to hide from Freedom Dad. Sinn Féin aren't hiding from Freedom Dad, like. Well, you don't know how cold it is, guys. You really don't. How we doing, guys?
Yes,
What are we
yes. No,
So, no, what were you here, mate? What are you here?
I'm here to give support against immigration,
Right, so,
unvalid immigration.
how long have you noticed what's been going on in Northern Ireland?
Years,
Years.
years. I mean, I'm talking way back, probably 6, 7 years more, maybe.
How do you feel about the politicians' attitude towards it right now?
There's no response from the Christian Church, and I think there needs to be
The politicians and the church?
politicians on the church, definitely.
How long do you think the people in Northern Ireland are going to put up with?
If there's not a change soon, I would say the country's heading down a bad path.
Do you think the Ulster people will allow us to head down that bad path without a fight?
Definitely not. That's what I mean. I think we could be heading down where we'll see violence or trouble.
Can you see these protests growing as we go forward into the summer?
definitely, I think they'll take off.
Thank you so much, mate. Thank you so much. Just a wee chat with one of the. You're not on here. That's all right. I'll ask you the questions. Like, yeah. Oh, fuck. Right, so turn around. So this, I'm just going to ask you some questions. Just be open and honest. That's all I ever ask.
Yep.
So, what brings you down today?
Well, it's the fact that I give up my time to protest peacefully about what's happening with the immigration. The fact that nobody is actually standing up and saying these illegals shouldn't be in our country, and they're getting what do you call it, hand over fist monies and everything. They're being well looked after, and a young 41-year-old down in Dublin actually died on the streets of Dublin down there.
That's right, that's right.
We can't even look after our own people.
But diversity's good. Diversity's good. What's the problem with foreigners being welcomed into our country when they're coming away from war-torn countries?
Simply because in France, it's not a war-torn country. They have suitability there. It's a peaceful country, and while they're not staying there, they're coming over here, predominantly 18 to 30-year-old men, and they're coming here to wreck the country to implement Islamic rule, Sharia law.
So, how long have you noticed the changes in Northern Ireland? Not talking about, we know what's going on in England and Dublin, but about our wee country, how long have you noticed the changes?
In around 2 to 3 years.
Yeah. And have there been big changes? How does it make you feel?
Well, I'm actually more worried, not for myself, simply because I'm a man, for young children that roam about, what do you call it, with their freedom, that can be actually easily put upon.
Yep. So what about the church? What's your feelings about the attitude of the church and their silence?
Well, I was going to say they haven't spoken up. They don't want to be anywhere seen within this moral maze, and it is a maze. You have to know that we what do you call it, respect people, and we peacefully respect people. But it's the fact that churches actually don't want to speak up and say this is wrong because they're actually bought out. They don't even.
You think that's what it is? It's money.
Absolutely, that's where I come from. What do you call it? Where were they when churches were told during COVID that were all locked down? Very few spoke up and said, "I have the right to actually what do you call it, believe in God and meet together as a people of God." That's the freedom that we're given under the Bible. And what do you call it? The churches are nowhere. They're nowhere on this issue. Don't want to be seen, and basically they're hiding
So
away.
why would the church, with the evidence of what we see, with all the cities that are being replaced in England, the churches being turned into mosques, why would they not protect us Christians and our Christian ways and everything that we've known for hundreds of years? Why are they being so cowardly? Is it just money? Surely it's not just money. Is there not just is it? There must be the practicing of the Bible, maybe the be kind to other men, and
I totally believe that it is controlled by the government, and if you step out of line, the government will nail you, and they'll nail the churches, and they've got many churches under their thumb, in the fact that what do you call it? As long as you do what the government says, you'll be fine. If you don't want to do the government thing, and it's basically like the Daniel in the Bible, he stood up and said, "This is completely wrong. I can pray anywhere. I'll pray at the window," and he was pulled in and got the consequences. Yet the Lord protected him.
Yeah.
and that's the whole story of the Bible.
So
We can't even pray in parts of Belfast because of the 100 meter what do you call it uh, thing around the abortion
yes,
clinics.
that's correct. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, and so where's our freedom? Where's the freedom to practice true Christianity that is in love and says, I want to pray for people. I want to pray for people who are not feeling well, who are facing the pressure of having a baby. That is one of the most what do you call it, godly things, is to bring life into this world.
So what's the answer? What do we do as patriots? I've been brought up with the church, the BB, the Sunday schools. All of us have been brought up with, and I know Christianity is in decline because of the church, because they're not doing enough. It's almost like they're willing the decline of Christianity to make way for Islam. Do you ever feel like that?
It's for me. It's the end of days. It said there would be a great apostasy, the great falling away. We can see it throughout the world where we obey the government. We should be applying the Bible first of all to our lives, and then obeying the government. Not obeying the government first, but obeying the Bible first.
So what's the answer?
The answer is to proclaim Christ. And
How do we deal with these leaders in our church that are traitors and letting the people of Northern Ireland down right now?
Well, it's down to every individual. So it is. When you go to church, you're
Can we remove them?
the system's too big to remove them.
Can we not replace them with our own men, our own Christians who are here to protect us?
The end of times comes down to the individual about actually believing or not believing. That's the freedom that you have within Christianity, and that's where it is. It isn't an institution. It's a faith within ourselves in Christ alone, and that's what's important, to have that faith, to know that God is in control no matter what happens around the world, wherever it happens. Then you have that confidence to go, there's one place I'm going, and that's heaven above, because Christ paid for my sins.
Yep. So moving on to the politicians who are in power. What's the crack with them? Why are they being so silent? Why are they not supporting the Patriots? Why are they not? And I know we're not everybody's cup of tea, but they could be speaking a lot louder about the desecration of the union, because they're all unionist parties. We're talking about our community.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about Sinn Féin, Alliance, or SDLP. We're talking about the DUP, the UUP, the TUV. And like, I'm not going to call it the TUV because there is men in the TUV that are speaking up. A couple of in the DUP are sort of catching on a wee bit, but they're still not doing enough. What's going on there? Do you think is it the same as the church?
Absolutely. They have been told that if you want to keep your seat, like Andrew Bridgend, what do you call it, and the Conservative, he wouldn't keep quiet. And if you speak up, you'll be given a couple of chances. But if you don't,
But is it not down to us who keeps seats?
it's too big. There's corruption within our system. What do you call it? And if I may quote, what do you call it? Dr. Anne McCluskey was up in. Up there, and she only got the same number of votes as Andrew Bridgend, and basically they know that she's been told that there's actually been boxes hidden in a police station that is actually not being counted. So democracy actually doesn't rule.
So what's the answer? What's the answer for us as citizens in Northern Ireland who are trying to stop the invasion and the replacement of our religion, our culture, and our traditions? What do we do?
I think it's down to everybody, every individual, to say this is where I stand. This is the mark that I'm going to make.
But if we can't change the church and we can't change our politicians, what the fuck do we do, man?
This is where faith comes in, because Christ is going to return very, very soon. What do you call it? We're going AI. All the signs are there. 3 big signs within Christianity before Christ returns are a one world religion. Well, the Pope has already said that any true Christian who believes in a personal relationship with Jesus is what do you call it? Harmful and dangerous. They have also said a Christian Zionist very recently on the 17th of January is actually what do you call it? Not looked upon about for the unity of Christianity. That means I can't have my own opinion, which is actually where the Bible brings liberty within our culture, within our what do you call it, the island of Ireland. We can see that with Enoch Burke. He hasn't been allowed his freedom of conscience.
I've seen that. Yeah.
So basically, it comes down to where we say it's the individual that makes the difference. And just going back to the Bible, Daniel made the difference.
Yeah.
And that's where faith comes in and says, I can make the difference, no matter how small, then that within the confines of the Bible and the end of times,
Yeah.
this is where we're at.
But see, for the people, they don't have faith like you, and they've got children and grandchildren who are worrying about the future of what's going to come when they're not longer here. What's the answer for them? And I wouldn't say like turn to God, because some people just don't buy into it. Some people aren't that way inclined, and they would probably you would call them. Some people call them realists. And that's just the world we live in. It is a decline in Christianity. So, what message can we give these people? Did we just say, take what's coming and be? Okay.
Well, if you turn away from God, that's what God Jesus actually says.
But it doesn't matter if you turn away from God or not. Our traditions are still going to be eroded. We're still going to be invaded. We're still going to be replaced. We're down the line. We're still not going to be a Christian country. We're going to be.
That's exactly what happened in the Old Testament, where Israel turned away from God and his his commandments. God says, "I'm either going to bless you or I'm going to curse you," and He said, "I'm going to make you turn back, because that's where it is. If you turn away from me, I'll make you turn back, because I'm going to put it on you that it's going to be so difficult that you'll cry for me." And they cried. The old song is, we're by the rivers of Babylon, where we sat down.
Yeah, yeah.
They wept for being back into Jerusalem, and they knew that they had done wrong.
So basically, what I'm taking from this conversation is the solution and the answer to stop all the things that are coming and to protect us from everything that we're talking about, the evasion, replacement, Islamification, is go to church. Everybody should start going back to church. Everybody should start being involved with the church and finding God. And I'm not saying like become a Bible thumper and all the rest of it, but get involved with the church.
I actually don't go to church anymore, and that's being honest. I see the churches are compromised, and when you compromise, you have no power.
Have we tried? There's other churches out there. It's not, I'm not talking.
No. We'll go back to COVID and the times when they closed the doors. There's only been, as far as I know, 5 across the province that actually stood up and said, "Mr. Policeman, you can do whatever you want to do. I'm still here."
Right, well, right, so this Sunday, not this Sunday, next Sunday, will you go to church with me? I take you to a church and you might find it a wee bit different than what you're used to. You give it a try.
I'll certainly give it a try, but as long as you give me my freedom to say this isn't for me, here's the
Of
reason,
course, yeah,
A,
no,
B,
of
C,
course,
and D.
yeah. But,
Because I'm a spiritual man,
yeah.
so I have discernment within that to go, well, did they stand for this? Did they do this? Are they there? Are they there? Or they're there on this point?
Right.
And I can say, actually, well, you know what? I'm better off my own, because the Lord can use individuals, and He can, just like Daniel, go and change things dramatically.
There's churches out there that we've got pastors that are coming up in all our areas that are absolutely amazing, and I think you're going to be in for a pleasant surprise.
Well, that would be fantastic. What do you call it? That
And
would.
then we'll get another re-interview, and you can let me know what you think once you've been.
Absolutely, as long as they're open to criticism.
Yeah.
And I'm a critic because I'm allowed discernment within the Bible. I don't have to follow rules. I don't have to follow the way the church actually does it anymore.
Yep.
Because when they didn't stand for children, by the way, where were the churches? Might I ask? I was involved in a petition that actually tried to protect children from transgenderism. It was a government petition. Where were they?
Yeah.
There were no. In fact, you know what they were doing?
Yeah.
Because they didn't want to be seen, because the government says this is the diktats that you're under now. We can't protect children. You're going to be loving by taking in transgenderism. In fact, I know one church that is very close to the mall, and there they had, and this is very true because I spoke to the preacher man himself, the Reverend Mark, whatever his name is, and he actually proclaimed that a little biological girl was being called a boy's name. Now, have you got the credit, or do not know, or are you that thick that a boy is a boy and a girl is a girl. Jesus actually commanded a man and a woman to get together. That's what it's all about. Have you got the courage to actually stand now? And that's where churches are at. They haven't. In fact, you know what they've done? To get the 10,000, and this is not down to me. The Lord put it upon my heart to go out there and give myself to people and try and protect children. I went round the schools. In fact, there was more Muslims signing that petitions than Christians because the Muslims know there is only male and female. They know that to overcome the world and Christianity, they will outbreed us. And the only way that you outbreed people is a man and a woman.
Yeah.
And that
Exactly. Well, I brought this up the other day. With everything going on with the birth, the deaths, more people dying than there is, than we are having children in our
Thank you
societies.
very much to the Muslims that actually did sign that petition. Thank you very much.
Yeah, but this is the thing, you know what I mean? They're taking advantage of the fact of Western society right now and our stance with the LGBTQ society. We are telling our children that it's okay to boys to go with boys, girls with boys, and we're encouraging it. And when we
That is
encourage,
a government diktat.
yeah,
That is a government
but that
diktat.
that is also creating decline in births. Because a man can't have a child with a man, and a woman can't have a child with a woman.
That is the whole point. Is the government wants to depopulate this earth. All governments want to depopulate this earth. That's why they put out the COVID vaccine. They will actually and
Allegedly, I have to say that allegedly, because there's US YouTuber like.
well, that's okay. What do you call it? I would give you the facts. Andrew Bridgen, who was a PhD in virology, and it hasn't come back. By the way, he spoke in Parliament, and you can come back and tell people that you forgot your facts wrong there, and nobody has come back to say that the vaccinations were not good for people. Yeah. They are not good for people. They're not good for children. They're pushing that vaccination into children now through the chicken pox. I will stand up. And where's our churches? Where are our churches today to protect
they've completely feel this
on these issues?
They feel
real issues that are real.
Feeling the English, they're feeling the Scottish, they're feeling the Welsh, and they're going to try and feel us. But like I say, we're not going to let them. That's we are going to have a kickback because we've got the evidence of what they've done in England. So they can't pretend that everything's okay and it's nothing to do with us because it is. It's got everything to do with them.
Well, the system is being made right now, where they will put you in jail. They will say you're the bad boy. You might be standing for what you believe in, but you're the bad boy. Just like standing outside an abortion clinic and praying, they will take you to court, arrest you, and put you in court, and then the judge will decide.
Well,
and by the way, the juries are being taken out of the system as well, so that only one judge will be able to say, we don't like what you say or what you stand for or anything that you think individually or believe in individually, then it's my decision. And by the way, just talking about Andrew Bridgen, he done a report during the week there, and were child trafficking. I couldn't believe it, actually. It was so hard to take in, literally, that kids from Ukraine are being brought into the UK for the degradation of children. The degradation of children, and nobody's speaking up about it. Where's our churches?
Yeah, I'll speak to you about that when I get offline, and I'll do a wee bit of research into that just to bring a bit more quality.
Yeah, and by the way, the two two Ukrainian, whistleblowers had bombs planted on their car and no longer here. They wanted them out of the way, and he's got video evidence, and he's got evidence of.
This is Andrew Bridgen.
This is Andrew Bridgen. Yes, go on to his website and our YouTube, and basically you can see everything that he talked about. He was there on the vaccinations. He was there about the Ukrainian children. He's got evidence, and nobody. Where's our churches to protect? God Himself says, "I bring life or bring death. You choose," and we're choosing death to bring to our children.
Well,
thank you, churches.
Thank you so much. I'm just going to say on that note as well to the churches and the government, you want to put us in jail, you better start building plenty of jails because we're ready to go to jail. Thank you so much, man.
Amen.
So yeah, guys, that's another take on, just another aspect, another avenue for people to go down and explore and look at. Quite informative. He is quite an informative guy. I've met him quite a few times at quite a lot of demos. And yeah, that's what it's about. It's about coming and meeting these kind of guys and having that chat. If you know stuff or you're interested in stuff or you want to learn stuff, then come and talk to these guys. There's loads of different guys with all different opinions, all different angles. And yeah, like I say, we learn from each other. Um, I'm always surrounded by very intelligent men, Christian men, people that don't believe in God, atheists, and it is a mix and it works because everybody's got an opinion. And for me, it's brilliant. You know what I mean? It's brilliant to have that all the different understandings and the different aspects and the different views in life in Northern Ireland. And yeah, we've got an uphill battle. You can hear it there, guys. It's going to be difficult. We've got threats going to prison and the government putting bombs underneath people's cars. We'll look into that, but I don't doubt the guy at all. Um, so, it is scary. And that probably is why it puts a lot of people off. And it takes a special kind of man to do what we do. There's no two ways about it. And woman. And that's why I'm so proud of the Patriots in Northern Ireland and so proud that we're all coming together. So proud of everything all the men are doing. From Stevie Baker to Ken, Dean, Lindsay, Patriotic Media, Truth Podcast, Richard Dimon, the EBFD, you know what I mean? The boys in East Belfast, South Belfast, Shankill, Londonderry, Ballymena. So proud of every single one of you because I know how difficult this is. I know how hard it is to walk the path that we walk in this life today, fighting the fight for the cause that we have. And some of us have been loyalists, some of us been involved in the troubles. But I tell you this now, as a loyalist getting brought up in the troubles, this is the hardest thing I've ever done because, it was a lot more clearer when it was the loyalists and the power multis. Everybody knew what it was about. It was black and white. Today it's not so black and white, but it will become a lot more clearer and people will understand that what we're doing and what it's all about and how serious it is for the future of our children. And sometimes I get emotional. Like I do, I get really emotional sometimes talking about it, thinking about it because, I really do love my country. Like, and I can't express that enough, like I've been brought, that's just the way we've been brought up. I love this soil, I love this ground, and I love this land. Just like I love my mum, like I love my wife, like I love my daughter. There's no difference. It's it's a love affair. It's something it's so deep and enrooted in our DNA that no man will ever take it away. And just like the power multis back in the day, we are prepared to die for this country. And you know, there's so many like me, and there's so many men and women in Northern Ireland on both sides of the community that will lay down their life for our country and our children. So let this be a warning to the politicians. We will go to jail. We will fill the jails up. Please believe me. You will need to build more jails to take the men and women who are coming to fight for this country. Okay? Please believe me. You aren't taking our lands away. You aren't taking our Christianity away. And you're not bringing these men in here to take over and replace Christianity with Islam. We're not allowing it. We're going to make sure when we leave this planet that this country is safe for our children and our grandchildren. I'm going to go, guys. It's been freezing here, and this is the chimney corner. And I want to see anybody coming up. Come and say hello to me. I'm here earlier than 2:30. It's 2:30 every Saturday. Show your support to anybody that's online. Anybody, not like I'm not saying you have to come out here and stand in the cold, but to support everybody. Anybody that you see doing anything to do with the right wing of politics or the patriot movement in Northern Ireland, because we're ahead of the game. We are well ahead of the game here, but we do still need your support. We need your backing. We need your love, and we need your understanding. I'm Freedom Dad, and as always, thank you all for coming on. Thank you for the 131 people. Thank you for the 68th thumbs up, and all my love as always. God bless.